Hey folks, thanks for clicking on this video today. We are going to be looking at budget-friendly headlamps. I'm going to be picking out a few of my favorites, going through some of the specs, nothing too long, nothing too boring, but I'm going to go through a few of the specs and some of the features that I like about these budget-friendly headlamps that I've used throughout the years on this episode of the Texan Camper. So the first headlamp I want to talk about is this one by Menge Ting. It's Mengting. It's a hands-free, very lightweight headlamp. I'm starting off with the cheapest one first. Little disclaimer: I paid $1.99 for this headlamp, and I bought a few of them at the time because they were really inexpensive. But as of the making of this video, they are going for $9.99 on Amazon.com. If you hunt around a little bit, you might find this lamp cheaper. You can probably go to GearBest.com and find this lamp cheaper. But when I originally bought it, it was $2, but now it's $10 on the same website. I went back to my orders and checked it, but I digress. Anyways, so this one's around 10 bucks. We're going to start off with this one being the cheapest. There's nothing really fancy. It's just a single headband, adjustable, comfortable elastic headband. You've got your adjustable angles for different angling of the headlamp while it's on your head, and it's got 3 different light modes. You've got your red blinking. That's 2 different modes on the red, and on the light side, a medium. Then you have strobe. So here's your bright, which is pretty bright. This is about 120 lumens. Then it drops to half of that, which is probably about 60 lumens on a more conservative mode. And then you've got a strobe. And then you've got, on the other buttons here, you've got red light, which is good for reading at night. You know, if you're in your tent, you want to read a book without, here's red. And then there's the strobe red, like if you're bike riding or whatnot. This could be good for bicycling. But so you don't put any batteries in this. The reason being is that it's a rechargeable port here. Comes with a little USB cable, so you don't always have to have batteries. The only downside to that is that if it goes dead while you're out there in the backwoods, you can't replace the batteries. But you know, if you have one of those portable chargers, you know, which most of us have when we're out there backwoods camping, 10,000 milliamp portable chargers, you can plug it into the bottom of that. So this one is by Menge Ting. Again, that's Mengting. And this one only goes for $10. And I'll leave a link below so that if you want to go purchase this, you can. Now the next one I want to go with is only like $1 more than the previous one. This one is from a company I believe called BoRuIT, BoRuIT. And this one is a 300 lumen hands-free headset. And what I mean by hands-free is that on the side here, if you double click the button, of course it's off, and by simply sliding your finger in front of the IR sensor, it turns it on and off. So you got it on, off, on, off. So that could be something cool for you. I don't really ever use that feature because if your hand just kind of, you know, you kind of brush up against it, or if you get within close of something, it just turns on and off and on. But nonetheless, it comes with that feature, and it's a hands-free headlamp. Now this one takes an 18650 battery. It's at 300 lumens. So now double clicking it turns that hands-free feature off. So now you can just manually turn it on. So there you go, it's off. But that's your button on the side here. The button also serves as the dimmer. So if I have it on, and if you hold it down after about 5 seconds, you'll see it to start to dim. There it goes. And then it goes back up gradually to the brightest setting. I think the lowest setting is like 60 lumens. And it goes back down again. And then obviously it will stay there. So by holding the button down is how you adjust the brightness mode. Now that's a little slow and lagging versus, you know, clicking it 1 or 2 or 3 times like most headlamps have, where it just goes through the different brightness modes. This one you have to hold. And that's really all there is to this one. Now, it does come with a head strap, of course, which is very comfortable. I would call this a 2-point head strap because you have one that goes around the main head, then you have one that goes across the top. Of course, my lovely model Maggie here is demonstrating for you. So that's how that one works. And this one, like I said, takes an 18650 battery. So it is rechargeable. And the charging base is also built into the headlamp. So right here on the side, you can see is where you plug it in. So you can charge this while the battery is in the case. Now, being that it's an 18650, you can obviously take the battery out and charge it in separate chargers, but it's nice and convenient. If you're plugging it into the car or whatnot, it just takes a standard USB, mini USB, and you can plug it in right there. Then there's a little cap that goes over and it covers it to keep water out. It is somewhat water resistant, so if you're out in the rain, you know, light drizzle or whatnot, water will not affect it. But it's a very comfortable headpiece. You can see the two-point system where it comes in. I like styles like this where you have it just on the top of the head, so it gives you a little bit more stability. If you don't like that feature, you know, you can have that. You can probably take it off if you don't want it on there. But it's such a heavy headlamp, you know, you might want to keep it. And the only way it adjusts is just you just kind of pivot within this rubber gasket head case that it has here. You just kind of, so there's no clicking action, so you can get really fine-tuned with it. So this one here, like I said, is by BoRuIT, B-O-R-U-I-T. I got this off of gearbest.com. And as of making this video, this hands-free 300 lumen headlamp is running right around $11, and that includes free shipping because it comes out of China. That's why these are so inexpensive. But if you're on a budget, common man budget, this makes a great headlamp. Alright, moving along to the next one. This one's a really interesting little buddy. It's a little bit more on the pricier side, but we're still under the $30 range. This one is only $21. Now, I'm not really sure how you would classify this one. This one is from a company called BinCello, and they call it their ultra bright waterproof red LED. This has just got a single LED within here, and I think the maximum output is around 80 lumens. And you've got different light settings, but I'll go through them here. Just there's a single button option, and you click it once. You've got your bright mode, ultra bright mode, which I think is the max. And then you've got a little strobe effect. Then you've got the red light, which is good for reading at night. Then you've got the blinking red to use. I think that's SOS. Yeah, that's SOS. And then it goes off. It is adjustable. You can see there's a little pivot to it. And this is just really a little micro headlamp. I mean, it's very small. This could be used maybe if you're a hunter and you don't want something quite as bright. You know, for your night vision, this works out great. It's light and compact. This could be good for a kid. The battery system on this takes the CR2032 batteries. Those are those little disc batteries, which look like this right here. They're little lithium disc batteries, and it takes two of these. These are the CR, if you can read that, CR2032. You need two of these that go inside of here, and on the back, I'm not going to open it up, but on the back you can see with a little, if you had a coin or a quarter, you just unscrew it, pop the new batteries in. It's got a really nice O-ring in there, so it's water resistant. Screw it back down, but it takes two of those batteries. So the next one in our lineup is by a company called LuxPro. I don't know where they're out of. This can be purchased on Walmart or Amazon.com, but this is the LuxPro 345, and this one has a max output of around 210 lumens. This is the black and gray version here. You can see the large LED bulb inside of there. With the deep dish reflector on it, so it's got a good floodlight to it. Like I said, 210 lumens. It's got a high and medium setting. There's the bright mode there, low setting, and then you've got strobe. And then there's another button that will illuminate soft white for reading. Then you've got red, and then you've got green. All of these can be used during night mode if you're reading a book to help with your night vision, especially if you're a hunter and you're trying to read a topographic map and all that. Those little features come in handy, and it's a really comfortable head unit. Again, this is the two-band system where you've got one that goes around the head here on Maggie, and then you've got one that goes across the top. Going through those light settings, you've got bright, medium, strobe, and then you've got your alternative soft light settings for reading or night vision preservation. And this one runs at the same price as the BinCello. The BinCello is usually a better quality company. They've got other better headlamps, but this one's more of just a really inexpensive off-brand design. I originally picked this one up at Lowe's, so this is commonly sold everywhere. You can get it off of Walmart, Lowe's, Amazon.com. You can get them from various places, but this one's a really good budget buy. It takes 3 AAA batteries. You can see the adjustable ability for different angling. So this one is a really nice one for just 21 bucks by LuxPro. Now, of course, I saved the best for last. This is the most expensive one. So far everything is under $25. This one is right at $23 that you can purchase this one at Walmart or Amazon. I originally purchased this at Walmart, and if you were to ask me, out of all these 5 headlamps, which one do I use the most, it's going to be the Bushnell. And this is their TRKR multicolor headlamp. Multicolor meaning you've got different soft light features, which is, you know, for the reading and for the hunting and whatnot, for keeping your night vision, which I use a lot. Now this one is my favorite. It has the classic tradition, you know, you can pivot it if need be. Going to the back, you can see the battery compartment is back here. So this one is a little bit on the heavier side. You're going to have this bulky battery pack, which I believe takes 3 AAA batteries, and that goes in there. You just unscrew it here in the back. Let me get that unlocked. Oh, mistake. It takes 3 AA batteries. You can see there, and then you just close it, and then you twist it to lock. It's a little bit on the heavy side because you have this here, so if you don't like that, then you might want to pass his headlamp up, but it doesn't bother me. I like the batteries in the back there. And of course you got your little cord that runs from the battery pack to the front of the headlamp. But this is the one that I use the most. It's extremely bright, and I'll go through the settings. There's the ultimate brightness. You got 250 beautiful lumens there. Then you've got a low setting, and then it's off. It doesn't have any kind of strobe feature. It's just low, high, and then off. And then of course you've got your red light. This is the ultraviolet, which is the purple one. This one's the one I use all the time when I'm hiking around the campsite, because if it's good visibility but it doesn't degrade night vision, doesn't dilate your pupils too much. So those are the nice features I like about that. Again, we've got the different settings, high and low. This one puts out, like I said, 250 lumens. And then you've got the red. And then you've got the, I think that's purple or ultraviolet they call it. But I use this setting a lot when I'm around the campsite, and I just need some soft light. That works out well. But as you can see on Maggie here, she is a little bit bigger. But for $22, Bushnell makes a variety of headlamps, flashlights. They make tents, good quality tents. I haven't really invested in any of their tents, but if you just Google Bushnell products, you'll find a wide variety of their product lines, and they're good quality. I've had this headlamp for going on 2 years now, and the only issue that I had with it was the hinge came out a little bit here, but I inserted a paper clip and cut it off, and then I super glued it in there. So now, because the original pin that was in there fell out, so it was just dangling, but I put that back in there as a quick fix. But that was the only issue that I had. And it was funny because there was one point where I actually lost this headlamp, and for about 6 months I couldn't find it. And of course I went out and bought more and everything, and then one day I was just digging through some stuff, and there she was. I found her again, so she's back in my collection. This is the Bushnell. So I just wanted to give you guys a little preview of what I use, what I recommend for headlamps that are for the common man, because they're all under $25. Now there are going to be better headlamps that are going to cost you more, and if that's your thing, that's your thing. But if you're on a budget, if you're trying to get a headlamp for your child or just for yourself, and you're that common man budget and you want to keep it under $25, and you want to use headlamps that I've used frequently that are pretty much, you know, tested through time and everything, that do really well for their price point. These may be cheap, but they last. They're rechargeable. They have a lot of convenience to them. So hopefully this will help one of you guys out there. Till we meet again. Peace.